Everybody, please welcome Verlon Thompson. Man, sorry y'all, I was back there. I lost total track of time. I didn't even know I was on. I looked out here and saw everybody gathered and wondered what the hell is everybody waiting for out there. So you good? Is that going to work for you out there? Yeah. What am I going to do here now? Hey, who was that I was hearing on the main stage over there just now? A.J. Lee and Blues. Man, that sounded so good. No pressure. Yeah, no pressure, right? Yeah. Just let me get into it here a second. You can hear that all right? Once I was a Christian, I lived upon this earth, and I died and went to heaven, where I got my second birth. And I came back as an acorn, and I grew to be a tree. And I made a mighty shade when the sun came down on me. And one life I was an outlaw. I lived up in the hills, and I'd run the alcohol to the buyers from the stills. And at 100 miles an hour on a downhill mountain road, I just turned into a white dove and I let go of my load. Oh, and the last time I came through here, I was a summer wind, and I whispered on your wheat fields and I called the cool rain in. And then I carried all your laughter and your sweet old fiddle tunes. I carried them right up through the rafters and sang them to the harvest moon. I was a singer and music was my church, and I put myself through hell trying to write the perfect verse. So I came back as a chorus. That's the best part of the song, 'cause all your friends remember and they all sing along. Like the Christian and the outlaw, and like that summer wind, singer to the chorus, I will come back again. Like a singer to the chorus, I will come back again. All right, we're going to Plan B. One we're on two, yeah. Yeah, that particular mic I was using, it's good for some situations. I've tried it over here on this stage before, and it doesn't like this concrete floor and this metal roof up here. So these guys were prepared to jump to Plan B. So. Can you hear that now? All right. Determined that I would not light up today. Yeah, but one drag would sure enough stop my shaking, Lord. And right now I could go either way. Bad angel, get off of my shoulder. Bad angel, won't you let me be? Standing at the crossroads of temptation and salvation street. Well, I know the cap is on the bottle, and the bottle is right there on that shelf. To take it or leave it, Lord. Tell me, how am I supposed to help myself? Everybody, bad angel, get off of my shoulder. Bad angel, won't you let me be? I'm a standing at that crossroads of temptation and salvation street. I should not gamble, 'cause I can't afford to lose. My woman would hang me from the rafters, y'all, with the laces out of my own working shoes. Bad angel, get off of my shoulder. Bad angel, you let me be. I'm standing at the crossroad, y'all, of temptation and salvation street. One more time, over to you, bad angel, get off of my shoulder. Bad angel, just let me be. I'm standing at the crossroads. I'm standing at the crossroads of temptation and salvation. I said temptation and salvation, temptation and salvation street. Oh, thank you, man. Good to be back, that's for sure. You know, I always wonder what to do. I see you guys like every few months, and it's like I'm always trying to think of something new I can do for you. And I'll do some of the old stuff too. But you know, I thought about maybe explaining to you kind of what got me started in all this. I grew up out there in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's got all kinds of characters, all kinds of storytellers, and we're at in a little place called Binger. It's west of Oklahoma City, about an hour. You probably never been there. Nobody ever goes there. There ain't no reason to. But yeah, man, I could walk out in my yard on any given day, and I could turn my ear towards, let's say, towards the north, and on the wind I could hear songs coming from up around Tulsa. Leon Russell, J.J. Cale, blowing in from the north. I could turn my ear over towards the east. About 40 miles east of me, I could hear Roger Miller on the wind over there in Frederick, Oklahoma. I could turn it down towards the south, and I could hear Reba McEntire for one, Vince Gill, Kevin Welch. I could hear a young man by the name of Jimmy Webb, who was like 18 years old at the time, writing songs like Wichita Lineman and By the Time I Get to Phoenix and all that kind of stuff. And then I could turn my ear over to the east, and I could hear Vince Gill. Garth Brooks was 30 miles from Binger. So, but even before that, when I was just a little bitty kid, I would listen to the AM radio, because that's all we could get out there. And I became enamored with the story songs. I would hear a lot of good old country songs, because that's all we really could get as the country radio stations. But it seems like the ones I was drawn to were the storytellers, you know, like the Merle Haggards and well, even the Johnny Cashes and folks like that, you know, that really told stories. And then Lefty Frizzell, he was, and this is one of the first songs that I remember ever hearing on the radio and thinking, I want to learn that song. That's a great story. And I love the rhyme scheme of the thing. And you'll see what I'm talking about once we get going here. Well, I was born in Saginaw, Michigan. I grew up in a house on Saginaw Bay. And my dad was a poor, hard-working Saginaw fisherman. You see what he did there? Saginaw, Michigan, he rhymed with fisherman. I heard that and I thought, that's brilliant. And my dad was a poor, hard-working Saginaw fisherman. And too many times he came home with too little pay. Well, I found a girl in Saginaw, Michigan. She was the daughter of a wealthy, wealthy man. And he called me that old son of a Saginaw fisherman, not good enough to take his daughter's hand. So now I was up there in Alaska, I was digging around for gold. Like a crazy fool, I was digging in the frozen ground so cold. But with each day I prayed I'd strike it rich, and then I was gonna go back home and claim my love in Saginaw, Michigan. Well, I wrote my love back in Saginaw, Michigan. I said, honey, I'm a-coming home, please wait for me. And you can tell your dad I'll be a-coming home a richer man. 'Cause I've hit the biggest strike in Klondike history. Her dad met me back in Saginaw, Michigan. Really gave me a great big party with champagne. He said, now son, you're a fine, fine, young, ambitious man. Why don't you sell your old father-in-law that Klondike claim? So he's up there in Alaska, he's digging in the cold, cold ground. That greedy fool is looking for the gold I never found. Serves him right, and no one here is missing him. Least of all, the newlyweds of Saginaw, Michigan. We're the happiest man and wife in Saginaw, Michigan. See, you can see why I fell in love with that kind of stuff. I just thought, man, if I could sing songs that told stories like that, I'd be happy for the rest of my life. And here I am. Here I am, still making up shit and getting paid for it. What's that? And you're still listening. That's the most beautiful part of it. Yeah, man. Speaking of stories, many years ago, I had my eye on this certain kind of guitar. It was called a bourgeois guitar. The man that built them was named Dana Bourgeois. And I got to play one time and I loved it. And I said, I gotta have one of those. So I was over at my buddy Guy Clark's house one day, and I said, Guy, you got to help me keep your eyes peeled for one of those bourgeois guitars. This was back in the day where they were hard to find, you know, and so I thought I'd need all the help I could get. I said, help me locate one of those if you could. And the old guy was sitting there at the time building one of his own guitars. He was chiseling on a piece of wood, and he said, He goes, I think I got one of them bourgeois under the bed in there. I said, Guy, you don't have a bourgeois under your bed. He said, I think I do. Go in there and look. So I went in there and took a look under his old bed, and there was a dusty old case in there, and I pulled it out, unlatched every one of them latches, and slowly opened it up, and there it was, lo and behold, a bourgeois guitar under Guy Clark's bed. I took it back in there to his office where he was still working on that guitar, and I said, Guy, this is exactly what I want. Can I buy this from you? And he said, no, just take it. I said, no, I can't just take it, Guy. Let me pay you for it. And he said, no, just take it. We argued back and forth for a while, and I finally decided, I came up with an idea that I thought would make us both happy. I said, Guy, I want this guitar, and you won't let me buy it, so how about I'll just take it into my custody, but it'll always be your guitar. How's that sound? And to me, that was it was kind of a romantic idea in a way, you know, and I almost had a little tear starting to trickle down my old weather-beaten cheek there. And, I was getting emotional. It'll be in my custody, but it'll always be your guitar. What do you think, Guy? Guy said, whatever. This is it. I was passing by a pawn shop over in the older part of town when something caught my eye, and I stopped and I turned around and I went inside, and there I spied, in the middle of it all, this old beat-up guitar just hanging on the wall. What do you want for that piece of junk? I asked the old man, and he just smiled and he took it down and he put it in my hand and he said, you tell me what it's worth, son. He said, you're the one that wants it. He said, tune it up and play a song and let's just see what haunts it. So I hit a couple chords in my old country way of strumming, and then my fingers turned to lightning. Man, I never saw it coming. It was like I always knew it, but I don't know where I learned it. It was a dream come true, so I just reared back and burned it. Track of time. There was nothing I couldn't pick. Up and down the neck, I never missed a lick. It was like that guitar played itself and there was nothing I could even do. It was getting kind of hard to tell just who was playing who. And when I finally finished, I was almost out of breath and my old hands were shaking and my old shirt was soaking wet. And that old man jumped up and grinned and he said, where in the hell have you been? He said, I've been waiting all these years for you to stumble in. And he grabs an old beat up case. He said, go on, man, pack it up. He said, you don't owe me nothing, But when he said good luck, there was something spooky in his voice. There was a strange look on his face. And when I closed the lid, I saw my name was on that case.
You know, I mentioned Jimmy Webb. Our friend Sean Camp is in the running for. They're making they're writing a play about Jimmy Webb's life, and they've been talking to Sean about maybe playing the part of Glenn Campbell. Wouldn't that be something? I'm pretty sure he's going to get the part. So I'm kind of making plans already. It's going to be, if they do it, it'll happen over in London, you know, over there in the theater district there. So I've already reserved a charter plane for all of us to go for opening night. And I'll let you know the details. We're still a little early right now, but well, hell, let's talk about Jimmy Webb. Let's do a Jimmy Webb song. I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main roads, searching in the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wire, I hear your voice above the whine, and the Wichita lineman is still on the line. I know I need a small vacation, but it don't look like rain. And if it snows, that stretch down south won't ever stand the strain. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line. You, and I want you for all time. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line, still on the line, still on the line.
it's such a loss here this afternoon. Now, Lord, if I die in this city, I pray my soul you will save. Carry me back to the mountains and bury me in a hillbilly grave. Bury me in a hillbilly grave. Well, I never wanted to leave here. My roots were deep and strong, but it makes no sense to be where all good hope is gone. Where all good hope is gone. Wonder about the things that might have been, but looking back is useless. Yeah, you can't go back, my friend. What's done is done, and it's then. So Lord, if I die in this city, soul you will save. Carry me back to my mountains and bury me in a hillbilly grave. Bury me in a hillbilly grave. The tall buildings make long shadows, and they hide a sinner well. But hiding is not living, and I'm living hell. Lord knows I'm living hell. So Lord, if I die in this city, I pray my soul will say, carry me back to my mountains and bury me in a hillbilly grave. Bury me in a hillbilly grave. If I had it all to do over, I think I'd use a knife instead. You see, the cold, dark blade is silent, and they'd still be just as dead. Yeah, they'd still be just as dead. So Lord, if I die in this city, I pray my soul you will save. Carry me back to the mountain, bury me in a hillbilly grave. Bury me in a hillbilly grave. Bury me. Bury me. away. We'll send that out to my old buddy Frank Serio. That I wrote that with him and Sue Cunningham. Frank, he couldn't be here this week. He's thrown his back out. It's hell getting old. What? That's right, Kenny Cox is here. Just imagine if he and Frank both were here. There would be hell to pay. Speaking of Sue Cunningham, this is a song Frank and I wrote for Sue after she passed away, and Frank was kind of going through the grieving process, and he said, I need to write a song to get some of this out of my system. I said, well, what are you thinking about, man? He said, I don't know. I don't really have any good ideas. And we were sitting there in Sue's kitchen, as a matter of fact, and he opened one of the kitchen drawers, and there was a whole collection of little Post-it notes that apparently they used to hide around the house for each other. And on one side of the Post-it note it would say, I love you more than anything. And you flip it over and on the back it would say, I love you more than everything. And so that was a little thing they did around the house, you know, and there's a drawer full of those things. And I said, here's our song right here in this drawer, man. And so anyway, we sat there in Sue's kitchen and kind of just let her speak to us. And well, it's as carved in stone as any words could be. It is beyond just love. It is the next degree. And we knew it was and would always be. And I love you more than anything. I love you more than everything. I love you more than anything. I love you more than anything. Well, it's the stars that hang up in the ding-dang sky. It's your fiddle tunes and your butterflies. It's you humming Lorena's lullaby. And I love you more than everything. I love you more than anything. I love you more than anything. I love you more than everything. To the mountains, hug the coast, and Who's to say who loves who the most? It's as carved in stone as any words could be. It is beyond just love, it is the next degree. We knew it was and would always be. I love you more than anything. I love you more than everything. I love you more than anything. I love you more than everything. I love you more than everything. I love you more than anything. All right, guys, I'll try to cheer up here. Yeah, that's a good idea. That'll cheer me up. That'll cheer me up. I just had an anniversary. Actually, the anniversary is, it ain't much. It's only 14 years. That's just the official part. We're like 20, almost, we're 22 years into it. Yeah. And I'm trying my damnedest every day not to screw it up. I was ordered by Guy Clark not to mess this up. You see, when I met my wife, she was in the news business. She was the news anchor on TV there in Nashville, and this was back before 9/11. And so all the news people got airport parking passes right in front of the airport door. And so she let me use her parking pass. Every time Guy and I would take a trip, we'd load our stuff in the car and pull right up in front of the airport front door, and like we were kings or something, and open up and walk right on in the car, have the valet boy take it away. And we'd been doing this for, I don't know, 6 months, and we're driving to the airport one day, and Guy goes, "How's it going with Demetria?" Which kind of is unlike him. He never was really much interested in my love life, you know. But all of a sudden now he's asking, "How's it going with Demetria, man?" I said, "It's going great. It's really going great, man." Why? "Well, don't fuck this up." It's all about the parking pass, you know? He didn't care if I was happy or heartbroken or nothing. He just loved the parking pass. I forgot my tuner back there, and I ain't gonna stop and go back and get it, so what the hell. So one day, now if you ask Demetria, my wife, if you ask her how we got together, she'll tell you that, basically, she'll tell you she stalked me. She didn't. She came to a few shows that Guy and I played at, because she loved Guy Clark. And I would see her in the front row, and I knew her from TV. And I would say, "Guy, man, the news girl loves you, man. She comes to every show." And about the fourth show in a row, it was before the show, I was back in the dressing room, tuning up, and Guy walked in, and he said, "Verlon, Demetria is out there in the hall. You ought to go out and talk to her." I said, no, man, she probably wants to visit with you. She comes to every one of your shows. He goes, "No, she likes you." I said, "She don't like me. What are you talking?" He goes, "Yep, she just told me she likes you. Now get out there." And he shoved me through the dressing room door, and there she stood in the hallway. She's standing there waiting for me. And I immediately got down on my knees and proposed to her right there. Because Guy, you know, I was trying to keep Guy happy. But to hear her tell it, she's like, "No, I was coming to those shows watching you, and I was trying to get your attention, and you were ignoring me." And I said, "I wasn't ignoring you. I just was dumb." And so we'd been together now for about 8 years dating, and things were going well, and I was really happy and just thinking, man, I got this, you know. And she comes up to me one day and she says, "Now, Verlon, I need to talk to you about something." And she said, "I kind of hate to even bring it up, but," she said, I've been listening to your songs now for 8 years. You got songs about dogs and trucks and guitars and everything in the world." And she said, "Maybe I've missed it, but," she said, "I don't think I've been mentioned in any of those songs." I took a big old deep breath and I looked right in her eyes and I lied like a dog. I said, no, sweet, listen." I said, "You're right. But I want you to know I'm working on one. I'm right in the middle of a beauty and you're going to love it." And she immediately went, "Oh, I knew it. I'm sorry I even said anything. I shouldn't have. I feel terrible." I said, "No, it's okay. Don't worry about it." So she turns and walks away, and I'm thinking, damn, I painted myself right into a corner now, because now I got to write one, and it better be good. And you know how things go when you're under pressure. It's hard to perform when you're under pressure like that. And I was struggling. I didn't think I couldn't come up with anything, and I knew she was just waiting for something to be revealed, you know. So one day, thank God, I'm driving down the road, I'm listening to a radio interview, and of all things, they're interviewing an opera singer, a lady opera singer from Chicago, who happens, that's where my wife is from Chicago. And this lady opera singer from Chicago was married to a hog farmer from Illinois. Of all things. Now, I ain't a hog farmer from Illinois, but I'm a guitar picker from Oklahoma. There ain't that much difference. So this caught my attention, and I started zeroing in on this conversation. And they finally came to the big question. They said, "Now, ma'am, we just got to ask you, it's interesting because your hog farmer husband's been sitting out here in the studio with his back to the wall this whole hour, and he hadn't said a word. He hadn't made a sound. He's obviously either backwards or shy or both. And we're just wondering how a beautiful opera singing girl from Chicago wound up with a hog farmer from Illinois." And there was some dead air there for a minute. Silence. You could tell she's thinking. She said, "Well, I merely chased him till he caught me." I said, "That's it. That's it. That's my idea." So I don't know who that opera singing lady is. I don't know what her name is, or that hog farmer either. But I want to thank them both for the idea of this song, because it saved my ass. She chased me till I caught her, and I'm lucky to be found. You see, Mike and Betty's daughter, she turned my life around. Well, I had pushed away love. It was fading from my world, till I saw it in the shape of Mike and Betty's girl. When I shake her daddy's hand, I can see him in her eyes, and he gave her that smooth and easy going. Oh, and bless her darling mother, that's where the beauty lies. And my life is a better life just knowing Mike and Betty raised her with love and honesty. Why, it's almost like they made her as a special gift for me. Somehow somebody watching from somewhere up above said, let's give him the best we have to offer. They said, let's find a perfect angel, a beauty full of love. Let's give him Mike and Betty's daughter. So she chased me till I caught her. Oh, and I'm lucky to be found. You see, Mike and Betty's daughter, she turned my life around. And I thank God he sent her down to turn my life around. Yeah. I'm gonna get my buddy John. I lost total track of time, or I would have gotten him out here sooner. Damn it, I'm so mad now. See? Now you got me all pissed off. Y'all know him, John Mailander. I got no monitors, no nothing here, so we're just... I'm working up here with no monitors, no nothing, so John, we're playing by, strictly by feel here, brother. Let me think here. sorry I'm out of time, folks. I appreciate you. Thank you. We're gonna be if I don't hurry up and think of something here. I had one in mind. I can't remember. What it was, it ain't no more. It's just a shadow of the place it was before. I see blackbirds, lonesome blackbirds, on our front porch swing, and in the backyard there ain't a flower to be seen. I see faces behind those empty eyes. I hear voices that I don't recognize. I could blame it on the years and the tears I'm looking through. Oh, but maybe it's just that I don't see you. Adelaide, you said if you love somebody, you set them free. But I still believe that we gave up too easily. Oh, but that's just me, Adelaide. The last I heard, you were up in Roanoke. The preacher said he got the word through your kinfolk. They said you've been thinking about Savannah. You always did, I know. You'd fit right in there, girl, where all them wild roses grow. Adelaide, you said if you love somebody, you set them free. I still believe that we gave up too easily. But that's just me, Adelaide. Down ain't nothing like that old-time sound. Make many a square dance go around. It's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. An old hillbilly hand-me-down. Ain't nothing like that old-time sound. Make many a square dance go around. Oh, it's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. Oh, my great-granddaddy
daddy made this fiddle. He carved it out of a maple tree. He strung it up with some old catgut, then he sent it on down the line to me. And then he carved his bow from a chestnut rail, and he haired it up with a stallion tail. It had a rattlesnake rattling round, and this old hillbilly hand-me-down. Oh, it's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. Ain't nothing like that old-time sound. Made many a square dance go around. It's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. This old fiddle is an old heirloom. It's been in the family since the crack of doom. And I was lost until I found this old hillbilly hand-me-down. It's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. Ain't nothing like that old-time sound. Made many a square dance go around. It's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. It's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. Ain't nothing like that old-time sound. Made many a square dance go around. It's an old hillbilly hand-me-down. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. That's a tune I wrote, by the way, with my buddy Sean Camp and Guy Clark. Thank y'all.